live with 3 minutes to go. So, welcome to the
Oh,
Patreon part of our show.
did you schedule it twice?
No, so that's what happens when you hit the button. See, it's not supposed to schedule; it's supposed to just go live. But when you hit the button and something kicks back to Talk Studio, it still stays out there.
Oh,
It's a little frustrating. I wish Stream Yard wasn't so stinking expensive because I really did enjoy how it worked and what it did for us. Even though there were definitely some issues as they were getting bought out and getting some transitions done. I mean, there was definitely some tech issues on their side. They're just better. They're just not what we pay. I paid less than $200 for Talk Studio, and I want to say it's like $450 a year for Streamlabs. So they're not twice as good. You know, we we
yep.
we're not pulling in StreamYard money on the show for
Uh,
for for a StreamYard stream a day. You can support these two daddies by going to patreon.com/wise_underscore nerdy and pledging $10 a month. Because I think everything did get changed over to month. And that $1 an episode that people pledge now is like $1 a month. It feels like it's quite all right.
and we're just waiting for our guest to come back.
Yeah. Well, technically, we're still early too.
Just about a couple minutes.
Yeah. Ba, 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 ba. Hey, I've been watching Kaiju number 8 finally.
Oh,
Okay, so you had talked about it a bunch, and you'd said you
mm-hmm.
thought I'd like it, and I got into the first episode. The first episode was just like, whatever, man. Even though you get to the end of the first episode and does the thing, like, yeah, whatever, man. And so let it sit for a while. For what I don't, you know me, I don't really pay attention to time that much, but it felt like a couple months. Like I watched a whole another 2 series or something before I came back to it. Got kind of into the second episode. It's fine. And then I take this transport. And the kid I'm riding with, he's in anime. So we're talking about all these different animes. Like, oh man, if you watch Kaiju number 8, and I told him that story, he's like, no, man, it gets good. It really does. It gets good. I'm like,
It's true.
I've heard that before. I've heard like, oh yeah, just give it 30 episodes and it'll be good. No, sir. No, sir. Depending on how long the show is, and if it's depending on how on the meth scale it lands, I might give it 3 episodes. So I'd already started the 3rd episode apparently. So I finished it. That is where it started to get good. Is towards the end of the 3rd episode, the power really comes out, and there's okay. Now we're talking a little bit. Let's figure some things out. I'm in the 2nd season now, and I mean it's not my favorite of animes, but it's interesting enough, and I like seeing the loss of control of power in the 2nd season in that controlled environment situation. Um, anyway, it's yeah. I'm staying caught up with Shield Hero. I'm like every time I go to the next episode, it's like, do you want to watch this in Japanese? Like, no.
I think it might be done now.
It's done in the Japanese. I don't think it's done in the dubbed yet. Because today I watched last night, maybe sometime in the last 24 hours, I finished episode 7. No, 12, and it's whatever episode I'm on, I'm caught up because like the next one's in Japanese.
Okay.
So where you at, Audie? Where you at?
Dude,
You know what?
he disappeared.
Can get rocking and rolling anyway.
Rocking and rolling.
Give me
down to the beach. I'm strolling.
Dice roll, sir.
Okay. Number 5.
This is Wise and Nerdy, where fatherhood meets fandom.
Yeah, everybody. So we don't have Steven on. We have Steven's mentor, the Audie Norman, who had to take a phone call to talk Steven off of the podcast ledge. Really, there's no podcast ledge. Just like there's not really crying in podcasting, but you can't tell Steven that. So Audie's in there comforting him right now, giving him words of kindness. Joe, how are you doing this evening?
I'm doing all right. Doing all right.
So, Audie, how is when you said you were over there comforting Steven? He was crying because he couldn't be here tonight.
He was. I just, sometimes it takes a long time to calm him down. So
I know. That's exactly what we were saying. We applaud you for raising an adult child. Too, but I'm great, so we're gonna go with that. Joe, what's our question of the week, sir?
The question of the week is, if you could learn anyone's spell or power from a fantasy world, what would it be? There's a whole lot to choose from. There is a whole lot.
I mean,
while you're thinking, I could play what we got from the audience.
You know what? Maybe it's a good idea.
All right. Let's go ahead and see what the Rock Bob of podcasting has to say.
All right, Bobby.
This is Bob, and for the question of the week, I would choose the Druid's Wild Shape Power from the Dungeons and Dragons movie, brought to you by Bob.
No. Okay, good tagline. Great tagline. Not from the movie, from all the books, from the game.
From the
Joe,
game.
what kind of bad dad are you?
So the movie is a lot more powerful than the games, just saying.
Thanks for ruining the bit. I don't know. I don't play that stuff. I'm just trying to
they break all the rules in the movie.
Okay. Well, okay.
Well, at least
Bob,
with Wild
there you
Shape.
go. You know.
Yeah. So, yep. Let's see.
Are all three your kids?
No,
Okay.
actually, the other two are Devo and my wife. So, let's see. Which one do you want first? You want Devo or my wife?
I'm not answering that one.
Hello, wise and nerdy crew. Mrs. _ here. Question of the week. I would want the power from that time I was reincarnated as a slime. Rimaru's Great Sage power. It does so much, and it would be so awesome to have. And I'm sure Mr. _ can go into more detail on the subject. Have a great show. Good night.
It is pretty OP. So in that time I was reincarnated as a slime, the Great Sage ability is basically Google but on steroids, because it can also take I've got it. I've got the perfect example for you, Charles. In Civil War, when Cap and Iron Man are fighting, and Iron Man tells his AI to analyze it and then takes over the suit to fight on his behalf.
Mm-hmm.
Great Sage can do that for Rimuru. Can do exactly
And
that.
you wanted to give me crap about putting stuff in the chat GPT, sir? Come on. Come on. You just picked Chad as your power. Let's go.
So, but yeah, that's just the tip of the iceberg. But yeah, he consults with the Great Sage all the time and gets information from the Great Sage, and it analyzes things, and it's almost like Tony's AI, to be honest. So,
Okay.
yep. Let's see. Devo's in the chat, but let's see what Devo says in the speak pipe.
He says, I think Charles is closed over.
This question of the week about a spell has Joe's fingerprints all over it.
What?
I
No.
haven't played D&D for many years, although I do like listening. I had to look around a little bit and kind of go through the list, and I found one I do like. It's called the Door of Politeness. So it's a locked door. It's immune to opening, magic, whatever, except knocking. You have to knock the door to get it to open. That's kind of my speed. So, yeah, I think that's going to be all I'll go with.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Audie, have you thought of one yet?
Yeah, there's a couple I thought of. One is just Okay, so I've got one of my kids reading Harry Potter, so I immediately think of that kind of stuff. So just apparating, just being able to teleport anywhere.
Oh yeah,
That
that would be
having
fantastic.
having their freaking tent. That's like, Doctor Who TARDIS tent, which is gobs and gobs of space. But I also always come back to Highlander and just being able to walk around and pull out a sword out of nowhere.
Right?
Yeah, no, that's a good one. That's a good one. I thought of a couple different ones like Jumper, the same thing, the teleport.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
So on and so forth. I mean, there are so many, and I'm actually torn between two. My mind absolutely went to solo leveling and Sunju and getting just being able to consistently power up, learning and leveling and growing. I like that one. Then I really thought about the Old Guard, which is a comic book /
Ooh, yeah.
movie set. It's like that kind of immortality where you gain knowledge as you live through the ages, and that I think that's probably what I'd go with is essentially immortality there, but they have that ability to temporarily die, and then that makes it easier to get off the radar and swap things up, and society forgets things. So I like it.
Yeah.
Nice.
Man, I've had so many different thoughts, because one of the easy ones would be like prestidigitation. It's a cantrip. You can use it all day.
Yeah.
Prestidigitation.
Mm-hmm.
P-R-E. Do you really want me to S?
Can you use it in a sentence, sir? Can you say it 5 times fast? Because that's a lot of syllables.
It is a lot of syllables, but it's a very versatile spell. It can do a whole lot of different things, but if nothing else, the fact that you can just cast it and clean something every 6 seconds, you could run a dry cleaning service and just bloop, 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 easy peasy. But then I thought about heroes, and obviously, yes, the first couple seasons great, and then the writer's strike, and then not so great. But that's that's a whole different story.
Yep.
But obviously, the first thought is, Peter, he's OP, but he's only OP because of other people. His power can copy other people, so that wouldn't exactly work if no one else has powers. Flying would be super cool, like his brother. But I mean, having Claire's ability to just heal, I think that would be pretty epic. Especially, I mean, I wouldn't want to do this, but she cuts off limbs and stuff, and it grows back. And so theoretically, she could remove organs and it would grow back. So if I ever needed to like donate a kidney or something, theoretically, it would just grow back.
I don't know how you take kindness and turn it into such darkness. You're helping people. I'm like, this is oddly grotesque at the same time.
It is.
I mean,
is. My biggest worry with that, because she still feels the pain, and I don't know if it ever addresses whether or not her healing factor prevents medicine from working. So if that's the case, I definitely wouldn't want to be willy-nilly donating organs and letting them regrow back, because that would
Mrs.
suck.
Underscore is going to use her Chad GPT to save the cheerleader, save the world, is her power. So she's going to. We saw how that worked out. Kels. I'm just saying, you might different paths for that's all.
Oh man,
Well, that's fun, Ties.
That's fun. That's so fun.
You're saying if you want to donate a kidney or something, like, are you walking down the hospital's halls like, anybody need a kidney?
Yeah.
I mean,
how much are you charging?
I wonder what blood type she is, if she is a universal donor.
Ooh.
And does that matter for I would assume it matters for organ donation. I mean, it matters for blood. So
welcome to
organs are a bit more
podcast where we just dive into the nitty details. Tuck your tism in, man. We got a show to do. All right.
Tuck your tism in.
Before we roll some dice, we've been trying to have Audie on for a while for this, and we felt it was the best thing to do is to have audio, because we're going to be talking about it all night. About how long, Joe, have we been working on a new logo?
A very, very,
And long before we even came to
very
Audie, which was
long
earlier
time.
this year.
Yeah.
I want to say it was
I was
about
gonna
this
say.
time
like
last
a year and a half, 2 years.
No. And we'd have to go back to Devo's brain and start there. But I'm pretty sure it was about this time last year.
All right. So the beginning of Devo's brain was August 2024. So yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So a little bit earlier than I thought, but not too much off.
That's
And
the
it was
beginning. Out of context, that sounds so. The beginning of Devo's brain was August of last year.
He is the mediocre sage. So, but yeah, so there's reasons things drug out, mostly because I work with some Goombas, and you have to jump on them every once in a while and put them in their place and just say, I'm doing it. Right, Joe?
That's right. That's exactly right.
That's the bottom of the show. But then we got Audie involved spring of this year. And I'd seen not just the artwork he did on Those Were the Days, but go to Travis's page, TV's Travis, and you see a bunch of different ones there. And I think I'd asked Travis and Phil Keating, like, who would you recommend? And they both, Travis like, yeah, Audie does all, not just the cartoons like we use for Those Were the Days. He does all these other things. And we liked it. And we've gone through a couple different iterations, but here is the new logo that we have finally gotten done.
Ta-da.
Yeah.
For the podcast, you will see it in the podcast art, and I'll try to see if I can put it in the show notes and whatnot. And you can go to our webpage and everything that's gonna be updated this week. But Joe, why don't you describe it? Because the top part was very much your idea.
Yeah. So the behind it is a waveform. And so we were tossing about a bunch of different ideas because we were looking at it. I was like, I wanted something to balance the words down at the bottom with the top, because it just felt really unbalanced from an aesthetic standpoint to me. And so I had thought of various different things that we could put up there, and then I landed on a waveform, and I was like, oh, that could look really good. And I gave.
You've also seen something with sliders that somebody did.
Yeah.
Well, that's where it
about
started.
sliders too.
Yeah.
And I think that is originally what I sent to Audie.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, I think it might have been Audie that pivoted to the waveforms, and not me. It was because I had it was the sliders that I'd originally given, and so that was your brainchild. But yeah, I knew I wanted something up there. And we sent some minimalistic artwork of sliders just as inspiration, and Audie ran with it, and the waveform turned out amazing, just wonderful. And the version that we have now was a complete pivot as well, because we pretty much had a finished version before we tragically lost Kurt.
Mm-hmm.
So
he quit the show. Just be honest.
Lord,
too soon.
Oh my.
You tell me. He was your co-host.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
and that's why he is
did
in
a
the
pivot
logo.
after that.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
You notice, right? So we're going to talk more about how we come together with logos. I want to hear Audie's story on this. But Balatro obviously was a huge part. I mean, I laugh because it was a running joke in the show. It's like, oh, Kurt's nerding out, it's gonna be Balatro.
Mm-hmm.
And so ultimately Botched made a Balatro Joker card in his memory. We liked that idea and went in a little similar but different route where it matches. So Audie was able to take the Kurt owl that had been completed and put it in their card. And then the font is basically the Balatro Joker font.
Mm-hmm.
There, a similar version. But anyway, that's I mean, it's cool. We got kind of this Alvin and Chipmunks vibe going on. It's really nifty. On the video, you'll see the new watermark logo is up there. And I love how that turned out, because it's the blue sound wave and the two owls. It just looks so good.
It pops really good.
It really does. So, all right. I'm excited. Let's roll some dice, because I want to hear some more stories about this logo. And then I have to spend another $80 on a jersey.
All right. Do you want to get it over with now or later?
Yeah.
We got a 1 and a 6. So you want the 6?
Get it done. I'm not going to say I want the 6.
Okay.
Dad joke.
Oh man, Charles, you don't want the 6. That's unfortunate.
Never.
Okay. All right. Well, we do have one from Devo, so let's see what his is.
Why did the polar bear get cold while it was sleeping? Because it slept in its bear skin.
He barely, some of
oh my
these, you
gosh.
hear it in his voice. He barely keeps it together better than you do, Joe. When Joe really has one he thinks is funny, he says the first setup and he starts laughing. He can't help it. He just thinks it's that funny. And like,
I will say that reminds me of another bear one.
no, come on. I thought better of you than this.
Have you heard the one about how to catch a polar bear?
No.
Okay, so this is what you do: is you go, they're in the Arctic. You cut a hole in the ice, then you put peas around the hole. So when the bear comes to take a pee, you kick him in the ice hole.
I appreciate that you did not set it up like a real story, like some of these guys do.
That's my mother-in-law's favorite joke.
Kick him in the ice hole.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, that tracks. That tracks.
All right, we've got one. I'm going to pull one from Discord from Tyler, aka the Full Run Through, aka the new dad. Again, scientists are trying to combine the DNA of a cheetah and a crab. I'm not sure what their end goal is, but it could go sideways really fast.
Let's roll some dice. Hey, no, actually, while you roll the dice, so I made a note there. It says Nathan Fillion, right, under bad dad jokes.
Oh Lord, he's doing them now.
Nathan Fillion has his own TikTok channel that is legitimately him. And Aaron, my wife Aaron, was showing it to me last night. Apparently, so I'm like, oh, Nathan Fillion, I'll follow him. But she's like, but wait, there's more. All he is doing is bad dad jokes, but he delivers them as he delivers everything. And when she was showing me, like, I knew the joke. You can't help it. It just came out naturally. I just started yelling at the phone. I know that one, dummy. Stop. But he does that Nathan Fillion stare. And it's not funny, but it is entertaining.
Yeah.
So if you want
he
more,
does his stare, gets in his deep Nathan Fillion register, and just like,
yeah.
Yep.
So no more 6s.
Oh, fine.
How do I?
Oh, yeah. So this one is for Audie. We were talking about how people messed up his name before the show. And so I was thinking of like a dozen ways to mess with his name. I thought I was going to do it every time, but I'm not going to do that because I'm really excited about having him on and talking about this. So it's, how do I develop a logo? Now, I talked about it before the show, but I will talk about it here. I feel like I'm difficult to design with because I'll say stuff. And Joe actually got it kind of right in his amping up the volume. Was like, I want a logo that tastes like sunflowers but aren't purple. And I needed to feel like a rainbow going through a car wash on a stormy day. It's like, what are you talking about? So I know we went through and played with a bunch of different AI ideas to really kind of see what was out there, see kind of a direction we want to go in, see how it would work. And I could probably pull up the email I don't have it up, where I reached out to you, Audie, but I would like to hear your side of the story of how that email, whatever that first email was, how it landed and how the process was for you to come up with this logo as we're feeding in craziness.
Yeah. What was it? I don't think it was an email at first. I think it was like an Instagram message or something.
Could have been
that way. And you were like, hey, we're thinking about doing this logo. Travis recommended you, so would you like to do it? I was like, yeah, of course, for sure. And then you sent me the AI drawing you had. It's just, 4 little pudgy owls just sitting there like, okay. I was like,
I think we were going we kind of leaned more towards minimalist because honestly,
right,
you don't want to go into a lot of detail. It messes
right.
up.
Mm-hmm. So I was like, yeah, we could take this and run with it. And then I emailed you my process of how I do everything. For anybody who wants to know, basically, it's just like, hey, we get together, we figure, hey, we want to work together. So I lay it out. I tell you how many times I can do stuff for you, and then I have to charge you extra for it because
that's
anybody who doesn't think about that is not thinking business wise. But that's what you got to think about, because otherwise you're just spinning your wheels and doing a bunch of work and not getting paid for it. And I think I told you guys, and what I always tell everybody, like, I can't remember the last time I had to charge somebody extra before we nailed it down, but I'm going to let you know up front, that's how I work. So basically I gave you my rundown and we started working and we started throwing ideas back and forth. And I mean, that's all it is. Just like with any kind of artwork or design, it's all about just throwing ideas back and forth, throwing them against the wall, seeing what sticks, seeing what works, what everybody likes and is okay with and can get around. So this is something I definitely remember going through art school. Just we would go through art classes and critique our work like crazy, and you could tell the people who could take getting critiqued, and you could tell the people who couldn't. So best artists can take a critique and take that judgment of their work and look at your own work and be like, okay, yeah, let me go back to the drawing board and figure this out. So that's what we ended up doing with these owls. Just going back and forth, figuring out, what kind of size and shape they want to be. How thick do we want the lines? And I think the original thing you sent me was like really heavy line work. I was like, okay, so let's kind of stick with that, which is good because I'm pretty heavy with my line work when I'm drawing anyways. So, we just went back and forth and over the look of the owls, over, the text and the font you wanted to use. I do remember when Joe suggested he threw out the dials on a soundboard, and I kept playing with it. I was like, just minimalist just doesn't work well. And then I had ideas like, well, maybe they're in front of a soundboard and we can make them play with it. And I just could not get that to work. And I was like, well, okay, we're doing minimalist. What if we just do a sound wave of some sort?
I hate how I come up with some ideas. You should have videoed that and done TikToks on this project all along.
I should have
watched. Oh no, it's not working. And that, because I love watching documentaries, and to me, that's one of the things in my head is like, oh, I would have loved just to watch the raw process happen. Right. Sorry, carry on.
No, so I mean that, and then you guys were good with that, and it was like, okay, we're onto something. So we kept doing that, and basically got to where we dialed in the characters of each of you, dialed in what you were wearing, your specific shirts. So of course, Charles, you had to have some kind of hockey jersey.
Always.
We made sure Joseph had a good #1 dad shirt.
And he's almost always wearing one of those. Are you wearing one, Joe? Are you wearing one?
Not right now. I've got a Mandalorian shirt on.
All right.
And then with Kurt, we wanted to make sure we had a Hawaiian shirt of some sort.
Yeah.
And it was funny. I was going back and forth with the coloring of it, and then for whatever reason, I landed on kind of the Chipmunks color scheme. It was like, this kind of works, but I played with it, made it more for you guys, and not just strictly Alvin, Simon, and Theodore. But and then it just got to the point where we got the finished product, and then it was all three of you, and then we lost Kurt, and it was like, as soon as I heard that, I was like, okay. Yeah. I know we're going to have to do some work on this, but I'm waiting. I was like, I'm waiting for you guys to say anything. So that's what I did. I was just like, I wasn't going to reach out and say anything until you guys were ready. And then you did. And then we started working from there. And we started focusing on just you and Joe and trying to figure out a way to get Kurt in there. And then the Balatro card idea came, and it was just like, yeah, that's what we're going to do.
Yeah. I know there's some colorations that didn't quite work, but that was something that I was practicing, at least is it was good that I only kind of knew you, because I have to practice harder. I don't like hiring friends because I have a hard time saying, no, that's not what I want. I'll just go, okay, sure, here, thank you. And then I'll go start over again. And so I was practicing business, and when you were up front with hey, this is what it is, and you paid this much up front, blah, blah, blah. Like, cool, this is going to be great because you take it serious. But I believe you did a step further than, it's a step exactly what I would hope somebody would do that I'm working with. You went and started listening to the shows. And I think that really helped capture the vibe of everything in this. Because I mean, there's one or two times, Joe, right, that we'd get an update and we were like, oh my goodness, I mean, that is Joe. He nailed Joe, and that is me. I mean, you just got the personalities down, and I know you probably did, and maybe I'll ask you. But I know you could have gone and found some pictures, but these go beyond just a picture that you kind of reference. This is got the energy of the. I mean, my face alone is very suspect in this logo.
Yeah. Are you okay if I show one of the early versions that had, well, I guess really the later version that had Kurt in it?
Joseph _R.
I don't know you're asking, but I don't think anybody minds.
Okay. Can you see it on the screen now?
Yeah, I see it.
Yeah, so that was that, for all intents and purposes, was going to be the logo before before tragedy struck. And yeah, I mean, like you said, like you were just saying, Charles, the characterization is on point, of them being very obviously who is who in these illustrations, and yeah, it was very well done.
So how'd you pull that off, Audie?
I'm awesome.
Fair enough, man. That's the best answer you could give. You know?
No, honestly, a lot of it was listening to the show. I hadn't listened a lot before, but I really was like, okay, if I'm going to do this, I need to know these guys, and that kind of thing helps. Anything like the other thing I think I told you guys, and what I'll always tell somebody is like, this is your thing. This is not my thing. This is your thing. So do not hold back in telling me what you want at all. So I'm always upfront about that. I'm always telling people that, like, they're like, well, you're the artist. I'm like, yeah, I'm the artist, but this is your thing. This is your idea, your passion project. So I want to make your idea come to life as much as possible. So, so it wasn't just going back and forth through the emails. It was listening to the show and listening to you guys and really getting, hearing everybody in your character come through. And I wanted to make that happen in the art as much as possible.
I mean, I think you did. I think you nailed it. And finding that, because we never were super happy with the font. Fonts are so difficult. They're like the worst. And yeah, just looking up to see if there was a Bellatro Joker font, and that was because we were trying to pay tribute to Kurt. And at some point, the card will probably go away, but the font won't.
Sure.
So that will always be an influence there. But yeah, it's fantastic. I mean, before we move on, because I'll just gush about it all night. Joe, do you have anything else you want to say about it?
Yeah, you were spot on when you said the font, because we went through
so many,
probably a dozen or so fonts before finally landing on what we did.
Fights, but it was like, hey, we need a font. And somebody go, what about this? And nobody, and I mean, from the three of us, nobody would say, oh, I like this, but not that. We'd all go search our own different fonts and just start posting.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God. It's almost like Flame Wars. I hated it.
Yeah, I'm a graphic designer by day. I work at a sign shop, so I work with fonts all the dang time, and it's a process to find the right font for the right thing, for sure. So, and it's funny that we found one with the three of you, and then with Kurt passing, we decided to pivot, and I think the one you've got really works so well.
Yeah, and that shading behind everything, because you'd shown the other one, Joe, and it was more of a white and lighter feel, but putting those purples around the edges really, I don't know, just pushes out everything, makes it almost 3D. It's like it's cell shaded.
That makes me think of we had a purple logo at one point because of a miscommunication, because you sent him an AI one. You're like, I really like the colors of this. Do you remember that?
Oh yeah, and then
then we ended up with this.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God.
the aliens. So,
which I always said that would make a fantastic album cover.
Yeah.
That's our LP we're gonna put out next year.
So
yeah,
we should post these on. We should post all the different iterations on Discord or something, so people can look at them.
Yeah, I love playing with color. Like, that's sometimes the hardest thing to nail. And like, one of the few classes I always remember from college was my color theory class. Just that one class of color theory, but I always think about it and go back to it. And I think it's the one thing that people underestimate and don't realize how important it is.
Yeah, whenever I'm trying to design something intentional, so I'll see your one class of art theory and raise you. I read one article on the psychology of color, but it's stuck, and I always kind of think of like,
Mhm.
what am
Oh,
I
yeah.
trying to convey?
Yep.
And now, yes, Joe, I'll go to the great sage Chat GPT and say, hey, if I'm trying to convey these things, what colors do I need? And sometimes it lands and sometimes it doesn't. But I will say this as we get ready to roll the dice. I know there's a legitimate fear of artists losing to AI and losing jobs and those kind of things. And some of that does happen. I mean, the logo that I have on my shirt right now is AI generated off of Joe Mice photos mixed with some we were trying out like anime styles and samurais and different things. Just I don't know why. And we at a time we didn't know Audie or didn't even know about Audie. And the artists that we did reach out to, we've told the story a dozen times. We just okay, we're gonna go with this because it's our faces. And it's cool. Somebody has definitely looked at the shirt at DragonCon. Well, hey, is that you? Like, yeah, it is. But you'll not replace that energy of a human being understanding what the other human being is looking for and going through the energy they're putting out. Because this logo, the way it captures Joe's face and my face and even Kurt's face, it is on point. AI just can't get that.
Yeah. And I will say I use AI as a tool in the process, but it's not the end
Sure.
game because I've got to have my hand on it and doing it at the end.
Well, and that's what we did throughout the brainstorming phase. Was we were feeding stuff in. We're like, that one's
Devo helped
okay.
a lot.
Oh yeah. Devo was feeding it a bunch, and we were like, okay, let's try this. And sometimes we'd do the same prompt multiple times just to see what else it would spit out.
Yeah.
We're like, okay, and so we were refining it until we got. I don't know how many Charles ended up sending you, but we had a handful that we were like, okay, we want something along these lines, and yeah, but yeah, we went through a bunch of different iterations, and I think AI at least helped us a lot in that brainstorming phase.
Yeah.
So
it definitely saved us a lot of money because had we done the same process with Audie, I mean, we would have used a lot of your time, Audie. It'd have been like, hey, we're taking out a bank loan now.
Well, and it helped a lot with the I want it to taste purple but not look purple. Stuff like that. It reduced a lot of that because
it tastes purple but not sound like daisies.
Yeah.
That's gonna be a quote on a shirt that we do.
Here's the other thing I'll tell you about letting somebody know I'm going to charge you if it's going to take longer. It makes you buckle down and really think about it and not just fly willy-nilly throwing out ideas all the time. It makes you really think about, okay, let's really figure this out. And sometimes you need that too.
Yeah, and to be transparent, when we went back, because it was the final version,
right,
about a week or two before Kurt's passing, and when I wrote that email, and we do understand that we were probably gonna have to pay you more. I was kind of going, but have pity on us, sir. I'm not gonna say that, but I processed my figures, and I think what you came back with was reasonable. And
yeah, absolutely.
So. John says, I thought he's messing with me for a second. The purple passion. When we come out with our own energy drink, it's going to be at least one flavor is going to be purple daisies. Just he says 100%. Charles, AI doesn't understand humans. Only humans can understand humans, and even then, we can only get it part of the time. So, all right, Joseph, what have you rolled?
We've already done 3, and that was a double 3. So let's re-roll. All right, you want 1 or 4? We haven't done either of them yet.
1, I guess.
All right.
What are you nerding about?
You know,
what are you nerding about?
18-year-old, he kind of speaks not well. That was recorded like 2 years ago, I think. At this point, it's fun. All right, Joe, what are you nerding out about?
We're gonna play your favorite game.
Okay, so Audie, I don't know if you've caught this, so we don't play it all the time. but I've got the title of what is an anime here that Joe put, and we're going to guess what this anime is. Except I am going to cheat, and I'm going to put it into ChatGPT and give you the wrong answer only. So,
okay. So the name of it is Apocalypse Bringer Monogra. World conquest starts with the civilization of Ruin.
I mean, come on, it is so crazy long.
Oh, just wait! I've got one for you next season. That is super long. That I want to try it simply because it's so long, and then put it in as nerding out, just so that I can have you laugh at how long the name is.
All right, so well, it does make sense that you would like Apocalypse Bringer Monogra. World conquest starts with the civilization of ruin, because it's actually a wholesome slice of life cooking anime about retired kaiju learning to make cupcakes for the neighborhood children. I get it's kind of like Eating Out in Dungeon or whatever that movie is.
Yep, Delicious in Dungeon. That was a good one.
There you go. Yeah. What do you think? What do you think it is, Audie?
I was just kind of thinking this is the origin story of the species of Godzilla.
Oh, see, I would watch that. I will watch that. This is another one I think, Joe, is kind of spot on. It's basically Animal Crossing, but with Cthulhu. Everyone's just decorating their doomsday islands with pastel furniture while summoning elder gods. Which I would watch that.
Oh man.
What is
it? The main character is a person who's been sick like all his life, plays a ton of video games, especially loves a specific video game, and I can't even remember the name of it, to be honest, but he gets sucked into a world as himself playing the video game. Like, so he's playing an RTS, so a real-time strategy game, and so he's the leader of the groups of soldiers that he creates, that he develops, and things like that. So think kind of World of Warcraft, StarCraft, and all that same. So he's summoned there, and he has his main unit, which is a hero, with him. So, but she remembers all the time that they played the game together and how many times they conquered the world together. And so she knows who he is. And so he kind of wants to take over the world, but also doesn't at the same time, because he just wants peace. But his race that he always played as is technically an evil race, and so the hero that he's got with him is technically evil as well. And so he spawns in this forest, and he makes friends with dark elves, and he's gonna start taking over the world. And you can see as it continues, he starts to lose more and more of his humanity. So I'm curious to see where it goes if it gets another season, because the season, it's got one episode left before it wraps. But he is called the King of Ruin, and there's times where you can see his human self is in control, and there's other times where his emotions are completely muted, and he is in that world conquest, destroy everything mode. And so it'll be interesting to see where it goes.
I think it's on Netflix. It sounds like another one that's older that I started to watch that someone else is telling me about, but it's an isekai, right? The guy goes into his video game. Or he doesn't boot out. He's playing a virtual video game. Oh, it's like not like
Overlord.
Is it Overlord?
Yeah.
You're
thinking of Overlord.
Game Overlord, which is a great game. Okay, but yeah, so it sounds similar to that a little bit, except when you say he's playing the game that he's in, is he now like the general character, or is he actually still going, I'm going to create more soldiers somehow?
A little bit of both.
Okay.
So he's there physically,
right?
But he can access a menu and be like, okay, I've stored up this much mana. Let's create this unit,
Okay.
or
So
let's
kind
create
of like Overlord and Solo Leveling a little bit.
yeah, yep. And so he's got his mana that he can slowly build up, and depending on how many followers he has determines how quickly he can replenish and stock up his mana, in order to pull off different things. Like some of the first stuff that he does is actually just using the mana to create food out of nothing, because this forest that they're in doesn't have any food supplies in it that they are able to find, because it's so densely overhang that stuff on the ground other than the trees doesn't really grow very well.
Interesting. You watch anime, Audie?
Not really, not a whole lot.
That's why you fell out of your chair and had a seizure. Got it. Good.
My boys are super into it though, so I see plenty of it, and I was with them tonight, and they were watching Sword Art Online too, and I'm just sitting there like, what the heck is this? Okay. So, but I grew up on, more of the classic anime stuff. So and being an artist and everything, it's in me. So,
Yeah, sure. I got you. Yeah. All right. Sorry, Joe. I
No, you're
felt
good.
Phil screaming out in the universe somewhere, so I had to address it for Audie.
Yeah. Overlord is a little bit darker, but from a story standpoint is probably better. I mean, we'll see. It's only one
for me. I like Overlord, but it just didn't catch. I only watched 3 or 4 episodes.
And I liked the first season of Overlord better than the subsequent seasons, to be honest. But yeah.
Okay. Audie, what are you nerding out about this week?
I've really, being someone who's on a nostalgia TV podcast, you'd think it would be something besides that, but it's not. I'm always going back to The West Wing and nerding out about that. It's my favorite TV show of all time. And just, the world we live in and the country we live in right now, going back to that show just is, comfort food. So, and all the algorithms seem to know that I need that right now too, because they keep throwing it at me. So,
did you watch The Newsroom?
Yes.
I was.
Yeah. The West Wing was my entry level drug into the world of Aaron Sorkin and all his stuff. So yeah, I watched The West Wing, got sucked into that, watched Sports Night, watched The Newsroom. I'm still a big fan of Studio 60 on the Sunset Strip that nobody watched.
Yeah, as I say, I haven't seen that one yet.
It's so good. It's so Aaron Sorkin, and everybody who works in that kind of feels like he got it totally wrong. He's like, I don't care. It's Aaron Sorkin and it's great.
Yeah. I have gone back, and it's weird. Even though my wife and I use TV lists, like of shows we're watching, we'll still forget about things. And so we probably made it through the first season of West Wing, I want to say.
Mm-hmm.
And just haven't gone back, and we were enjoying it. It was fun. We know it's visually it's dated to the time it was made, because it's on Hulu, not in a remastered format. It's in the film format or whatever. So it's kind of washed out a little bit, whatever. It's fine. But yeah, Newsroom. I saw something before Newsroom that really got me into Sorkin. And then I'm on a few episodes of Entourage, which I found interesting. and then when Newsroom launched, just that opening monologue,
oh yeah, that Jeff Daniels monologue, good Lord,
that's crazy. So I get that. I get. Have you ever watched any of the Sorkin stuff, Joe? Like West Wing?
Not that I know of.
You might like it. It's entertaining. I will say. I mean, Aaron Sorkin is one of those creators that has a definitive style.
Oh yeah,
and it's always going to be a wide cast of characters.
Mm-hmm.
And there's always going to be a walking and talking scene at least twice an episode. And it is very punchy and poignant with comments and commentary on things. Man, the end of, I think, the second season of Newsroom, where they're talking about basically taking him off the air, and he's just railing on the election. It's you would, anybody else who wrote it, Joe, it'd be unhinged. But with Sorkin, it's like, man, this thing is very well put together.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Oh yeah.
So I put down, because I didn't know how to quite phrase this, but I said old passions become new, because two things that I've always loved have come back around in my life. First off, though, because I had my birthday this week, and people like Joe made sure that it got spread across all the communities. Thank you, everybody, for all that. And I learned that Casey J, otherwise known as old dead baby turtle, so not new, but old. He's dead. But see, I always say, Casey J, stop taking Joe's side on the air and then being cool as Dead Baby Turtle on TikTok. I like Dead Baby Turtle. He's my favorite. But I learned that Casey was born the same week. And so lots of fun things. And small podcast world. He knows Frank Allen because Phil was on, and I was talking about how Casey's my favorite Australian. And I worked with Frank Allen and his Toy Power crew with Giant Size Team Up, and that's long since gone, but he still follows them, and I mean, it's just cool. Like, he found Giant Size Team Up because of Pokemon Go podcast, and I think that's how he told the story. So I want to say happy birthday, Casey. That was that long story. But when I met my wife, I was playing drums and a couple different groups and doing stuff like that. It really kept me going. I had a kit for a long time, and ultimately, even after having my first kid, I really got more into podcasting, and I needed some podcasting gear. So I sold my kit. I did that, and I don't regret it. I mean, 21 years later, I'm going strong. But I did finally, I've been thinking about it for probably 2 years or so, getting an electric drum kit, because real kits are stupid loud. So you're restricted to when you can play them, and this and that. And the other. Then they take up some space and whatever. So yeah, for my birthday, I asked for an electric drum kit, and my wife got it for me. And that's been a lot of fun. I was actually doing it tonight before the show, and rusty. I mean, not as bad as I thought it would have been, because I haven't literally played in at least 15 years, and you still can do a lot of the things. It's not like day one, but it is not where I left it. I can tell you that. And then I held off on getting Borderlands 4. And if you know me, I love the game Borderlands. I've loved the entire series. I've owned them all, beat them all. I've just been playing back through 3 for the last year, playing a different character, just trying something new, different. And almost pre-ordered the game, but Phil Keating made a point, because I mean, things are getting so much more expensive now, and that's fine, because I got probably 5 years of play out of Borderlands 2, and I'll still go back to that and play it easily. And fair enough, I am not going to begrudge $120 for a game, for the top tier game, because you then get the extra content of the extra characters. There's at least 2 extra characters they promise that come with their own new stories and extra other things. So content is what I'm paying for. But Phil was like, we know, he and I both had hyped up Borderlands 3 and bought it day of, or we pre-ordered it, and we did a stream together. And man, the bugs hit him and didn't hit me. And like, every time we'd load in, his computer would lock up. I mean, it really tanked an experience for him. And I felt bad going through that experience with him, because I wasn't having those problems, but I felt for him. And that's game day launch now. I mean, that's the world we live in. Yep. And so I was like, you know what? You're right, Phil. I want to really love the game for what it is, or what it is not, right? Because there's the pre-sequel that was whatever. But I want to have an accurate appreciation of it, not a buggy one. And then in about 6 months, they will probably put it on sale, and I can get what I want out of it for half the price. And so I was going to wait. And my son heard me talk about that, saying that whole story, and Oakland, and he decided to go out and get it for me. So I actually have Borderlands 4 and been playing it. It's awesome.
Nice.
All 4 characters are great. Only 2 really resonate for me, because I play them all till they get their power, and you try their powers out, and then just pick the one I want to do the whole story with. The art is fantastic. It's a whole new set of rules, because they're on a whole different, and they tell a whole different story about the planet, because it's a whole different planet. It's a whole different everything. Just Vault Hunters are Vault Hunters. And Claptrap is still there for some reason, even though it's nothing to do with the other storyline yet. Anyway, I the controls they've added, they've added basically jetpacks and laser grapples, and it flows. It's a good improvement. I'm very much enjoying the new set of powers. So that's what I'm nerding out about. And I still will wait for the sale and buy the souped up premium pack upgrade because I want those extra characters in those extra levels.
Gosh, I so wanted to buy the new Metal Gear Solid Delta whole remake thing because I loved that game back in the day. Good Lord. But it is so pricey right now. I'm like, oh, my wallet cannot handle that.
Yeah, and we've got the fall sales coming,
right?
Sales.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, might as well wait till you get the right price for what you want.
Yeah, play one of those other games that you haven't played but you bought a long while back. While you wait for it to go on sale.
I've been doing that. I've been playing through Halo Reach again because I love that campaign.
There you go.
It's funny because Joe and I have both worked with people in media that's a huge thing, and we may have just triggered Phil who listens. But yeah, I've never done that. Have you guys? Honestly, have you done the whole buy? I mean, I bought a Humble Bundle one day to give stuff away, so I don't count that because I didn't buy it to play all the games. I gave Joe some codes. I've been handing them out to my kids wanted to try stuff, whatever. But have you just bought games that are just sitting in your Steam or your Xbox library or whatever that you don't play or haven't played?
I've got a couple in there that I have played very little, but I bought them because I've got Steam Family and I knew my kids would like it.
Okay, there you
And
go.
They'll get around to it. A couple of the games I don't think they've touched much, but I did see one of them. Old Jebediah was downloading it to play it on his computer. So yeah, it'll be good.
Yeah. I'm not a PC gamer at all. Never have been. Console player all the way. But I've got Xbox Game Pass for that.
Yeah.
For the same reason, like for having easy stuff for my kids to play if they want to, even though all they play is Minecraft. But just always having that option to play something if I want it and need it. And there's definitely been several games where like, yeah, I'll try this. Played it once for maybe an hour and never went back to it.
Yeah. Well, and you never know when your kids are going to get obsessed with something that you haven't touched in ages.
Oh, yeah.
So like a couple weeks back, my oldest, he started playing Final Fantasy VII. And so now my other boys are like, oh, I want to play Final Fantasy. Well, we've got a bunch of the different Final Fantasy games. And so they've been consuming those a lot. And the reason why my oldest wanted to play Final Fantasy VII, or at least the reason he told me he wanted to play it, is because he saw that we had the Final Fantasy VII Advent Children movie. And he was like, I want to watch it. I'm like, you got to beat the game first. Because this is a sequel to the game. Like the movie is a sequel to the game. So I'm like, you got to beat the game first. I'm not letting you watch it until you beat the game. So he beat it last week, and we'll probably watch it on Saturday. So, but yeah,
and I've got some games like that where like I've played it since it came out, and I've bought it on several systems since just to play it again and again. Like Castlevania Symphony of the Night. I will play that on anything it comes out on just to freaking play it again because I love that game. There's one that came out on the Sega Saturn that I loved called Guardian Heroes. Nobody remembers it because it was on the Sega Saturn.
So Guardian Heroes was actually talked about at Southern Fried Gaming Expo this past year.
Holy crap, I love that game.
Bobby Blackwolf and Rob Roberts did a panel of video games you've never heard of, and that was one of the ones that they were talking about. But
so good.
Yeah, I think we've done this as a question of the week before about what games have you purchased the most copies of, and for me it was Final Fantasy 7 and 8. I think I've purchased those like 4 or 5 times each on various places. But yeah, good stuff.
Roll a dice, and Audie, in about 2.5 weeks when this show goes on podcast, and then seeing it and hearing it, rather, you're going to get an email to you and Travis about we need to do a podcast about the games we forgot we used to play. Say no. Phil does not need another podcast. That's not going to launch. Okay.
Look, if me and Travis are involved, it will launch. I'm just saying.
There you go.
Stay
right, what do we
tuned
get?
for this commercial break.
Do I have to play haunted music because it's almost Halloween? I thought I was going to go with that differently, but I didn't. All right, I don't know what this one is. We'll go with this one. Okay, it happens to be kind of haunted, but that was I don't know. It's just yellow. So, hey, go to patreon.com/wise_n_nerdy, and you can help us pay off this huge loan we took to get our logo. We very much appreciate you donating for the cause. Audie, where can they find you if they want to listen to you or hire you?
Best way to find me online is the Audie Norman. That's usually my handle wherever I'm at. So on Instagram, if you're on Threads, Blue Sky, the Audie Norman blueski.social. Hit me up there anyway, or the Audie Norman at gmail.com.
All right, let's chill
There you
out this
go.
music and let old dead baby turtle sweat it off in the Australian summer. Okay, I can let that one go on for a while. That kind of got the spacey on there. I like
Yeah.
Demo says, oh, sure, you want the Borderlands stickers, but Pokemon Go, you poo-poo all over. No, I don't need to play dress up as a grown man in Borderlands. That's not a thing for me. Joe, what is the question of the week 3 weeks from Monday?
So the question of the week for October 16th is, what is your favorite Robin Williams movie?
Oh.
Fine.
Charles was upset about this question in the pre-show, but he didn't provide an alternative, so we're pushing through with it.
we always push through. It's not that I didn't like it. It's like, how do you rank that?
It's like picking a favorite
Like
kid.
say,
Yeah.
no, I could pick
Charles is
favorite
like,
kid. Jebediah all day. Jebediah, easy.
Oh,
Favorite
man.
kid,
That's
no
like
problem. Favorite
ranking-
Robin Williams movie?
What-
Yeah.
What's your favorite breath that you took? I mean, come on.
Okay.
No jokes. All right, cool. Roll the dice.
Oh, Charles.
Is it hammer time?
We've already had 5 and 3, but we have not had number 2. There we go.
It's personal story time.
I had to put my hammer away. I have it tonight, finally. Okay. Daddy, tell me a story. Audie, how did you discover and come to podcasting and become a podcaster?
Well, it started a long, long time ago in a land far away. No,
Alabama?
North Carolina, actually. No, I just remember I started listening to podcasts. When was this? Like early 2000s. I remember specifically listening to podcasts because we lived in Durham. I had to drive to work to Raleigh, and it was a long drive, so I needed something to listen to. Radio over there was terrible, and podcasting started becoming a thing. Back when, okay, kids, back in the day, you had to take your podcasts, download them onto your iPod.
Yeah.
So this was
Like overnight, you put on a little
Right.
cradle if you were rich. you know?
Yep. And I'd listen to them the next day. So I distinctly remember listening to Webcomics Weekly with Scott Kurtz, Brad Geiger, Dave Kellett, and Chris Straub. And they were all webcomics guys. I started getting into that and thinking about that and just listened to that like crazy.
How old were you?
Oh, I was in my 20s,
Okay.
30s. Yeah.
We're here 40.
Late 20s. Yeah. So, no, I was freshly married. We were in North Carolina. And I was working, so I needed something to listen to because, like I said, it was a long drive. Radio was terrible. I wasn't just needed something, and I got into podcasts, and it was just like, okay, I'm good with this. Finding something, and then it got popular, and it's like, oh, okay, so there's more people that do this. Interesting. But it wasn't until a few years ago when I really And I gotta say, I think the origin starts with Steven Adams. So his show with his sister-in-law, Horseshoes and Hand Grenades.
Yep.
I remember hanging out in the chat with everybody on their show, and somebody else in their chat room was TV Travis. And at some point, somebody mentioned something about Highlander. And the two of us were both like, we would do a show watching that series because we both loved the TV series. And we just did. It was like, I think Travis said something about it. I was like, if you do that, I'm on board, like right now. I don't know how to do it, but I will do it. And then we did it. We started doing it not long after that. So we started doing our podcast together, talking about Highlander, the series, going through each episode.
So neither one of you had done a podcast at all before.
He, I think, had just recently started Wait You Haven't Seen.
Okay.
Because we had talked back and forth. I did the logo for his podcast. So we knew each other that way. And then we started talking. I think it was after he was actually on the podcasting competition that Brian Ibbett did.
America's Next Top Podcaster.
Right.
Charles.
So Travis, I think had recently done that or something. And then we started talking about it and we just said, okay, let's do it. So we started doing it. And that's how I began podcasting. So we did that. And then in the middle of that, I actually went on the next season of America's Next Top Podcaster, made it up to number 3 somehow.
Nice.
And then not long after that was when Horseshoes and Hand Grenades had to shut down because Ashley was dealing with her kid and all that stuff. And she was like, okay, I need something to do. I've got a podcast because I'm a podcaster. And both me and Travis separately, I think, messaged him. It was like, hey, I know you. I like you. Why don't we do something? And then he brought us all 3 together. It's like, hey, let's do something. And then we figured out, those were the days. And we're like, okay, we can't just be a bunch of guys. We got to bring a female voice into this for the sake of, not just being a bunch of dudes. And we brought in Amy. And just started doing that show. And I think we're on 2 or 3 years now. And a whole lot of episodes with that one. So Highlander, me and Travis did. We watched the entire series, watched all the movies, did all that. Whenever the new movie comes out, we'll come back and do some stuff on that. And then we pivoted and I've been doing Those Were the Days with all 4 of them ever since.
Okay. So how many years is that now then total?
Oh, it's got to be 4 or 5 at least.
Okay.
Yeah.
There you go.
So, yeah, something like that. It's crazy to think about it. It's been that long.
I get that. I mean, it just fly by.
Yeah.
Well, and I mean, a lot of people are like, oh, 4 or 5 years. That's but you've done more episodes than like 99% of podcasts.
Yeah.
So
we joked about it all the time with Those Were the Days. Like, if we get past 10, we'll be good. It's like, yeah, and we're at like, I don't even know how many. Let me look real quick and try and figure that out where we're at.
You probably got more episodes than the shows you cover.
Probably. Let's see, where is it? Those Were the Days. Yeah, we're at episode 132.
There you go.
So 144 total, give or take. So we've and that show for those listening, we cover classic TV. So we watch an episode of TV. We basically, our marker is 2000 and before, and we pick a topic. There's 4 of us. Each one of us picks an episode, and we spend a week watching it and then coming back and talking about it for that week. And we pick any kind of episode you want. So whatever it is. So we've done everything from, we did recently Step by Step. We've done the Mary Tyler Moore Show. We did episode of the Munsters, not the Munsters. What's the other one? Addams Family. We did Addams Family. I mean, we've done all kinds of stuff. So, and we do all kinds of topics. And there's so much TV out there, and with so many stinking different ways to stream stuff nowadays, it's not too hard to find something to watch.
It blew my mind that anybody hadn't seen the Claymation Christmas with the
Mm-hmm.
I think it was Steven or Travis. I can't remember which one. They just Never.
Yeah, I think Steven.
Yeah, it's like kind of rock were you under, man? Because that was
It's
the biggest thing ever.
yeah.
And what you kind of cut off the claymation? What?
Claymation Christmas with the California raisins.
Mhm.
Oh, okay.
And a bunch of other random little stories in there.
Yes,
Like I still
no.
sing We Three Kings the way I
Yep.
do in my head
Yep.
because of that.
Those camels, yeah, man.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, 100%. It's fantastic. It was crazy. Steve was like, yeah, it was great. I never saw it before. Like, holy cow.
Mhm.
They did commercials,
Mhm.
commercial series. I've gotten to listen to it in this last year, basically, as I rotated podcasts out and you guys rotated in, and it's a very fun ride. And I told Joe even last week that he would really enjoy it. He's like,
Yeah, I mean,
I got my anime in my books. I don't need a podcast.
yeah. We have a blast with it because we're mostly about the same age, but we have so different tastes. And Steven is like a couple years younger than me, Travis, and Amy. Like we're all about the same age. Steven is just a couple years younger. And it's funny to see how much a difference that couple of years makes from TV you watched as a kid or what you consumed when you were younger. Like Steven was all about Nick at Night stuff. And it's just like, for me, that was like, I aged out just as Nick at Night was coming up. So like I never saw the Nick at Night stuff and glommed onto it the way he did. So, but it's a lot of fun.
Yeah. You guys need to do a special episode on the death of Jim Henson.
Yeah, we probably should cover that at some point. I mean, we've done
very special Muppet stuff. There's special Sesame Street stuff, the funeral.
Because we've done at least one, maybe two Muppets episodes. I don't think we've done Sesame Street yet. I know we've talked about it. That's the funny thing too. Like there's so much different things that we've talked about, but then it was like, have we covered that? Like, have we actually done an episode focused on that show? Not yet, but we'll get there.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Oh, well, that's a fun journey, man. It's to see that connection from Steven on through.
Yeah.
Or fans and enjoying.
Yeah.
That's really cool. It's always fun to see that kind of thing grow out of something. Yeah, Joe.
No, I was just thinking
that show you need to tell me about. You and Devo are working on the art shop workshop.
No. Although Devo is trying to he's got an idea for our show. We'll see if we can bring it to fruition.
Another one.
So
I mean, they play well.
I shared with
I
you.
don't always enjoy them. If you know what I mean.
It's what I shared with you. The idea.
I mean, it's wild the way you get connected to stuff. Because I think I found Steven maybe because of Travis or something from listening to stuff and being in the chat rooms for the Frog Pants stuff, listening to the morning stream and stuff like that. And then, going over to Two Dorks and, getting involved with that whole crew and everybody. And then through that and through the last couple of years, going to Dragon Con and meeting all you guys and stuff. Like, it's wild the connections you make.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Dragon Con will make you branch out real fast.
Yeah.
If you let it.
Yeah, I was going to say, Dragon Con's a sink or swim situation.
More often than not, people swim.
Yeah, I was gonna say I enjoyed swimming through that pool for sure.
It's more of an infinity pool and not a deep poall. I mean, I'm not mocking. Sure. You're like sink or swim. Well, you really can't sink, but you can swim.
All you got to do is stand up. You're good.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's what you got to remember. Stand up.
Joe, you got it. This is why I bought you, man. You rock. So, all right, now it's hammer time. Now, Joe is really great in this episode, but we're going to find out if he's the butt face because he wanted to bring the Parliament of Pawpaws to his own story.
Ooh.
And I can't wait.
You would have to do some serious logic twisting to get me to be the butt face in this scenario. Just saying.
Then why is it even am I the butt face story?
Because I want you to decide who in the story is the butt face. There's definitely some butt faces.
It's Joe. I rolled a 6.
I think he put the 6 on that end on purpose, to be honest. But okay, so long while back, this was 7 or 8 years ago. My younger brother was getting pretty serious with his girlfriend and was planning to propose to her. My younger sister had our mom's wedding ring from her first marriage and offered it to my younger brother, or he
It works
asked
as well
her.
for her.
Or he asked her if he could have it or whatever. He wasn't doing so great financially, so he couldn't afford a ring. And
Why
so,
didn't you, so we learned last week you just sneak into the room and take it out of the box.
yeah, right?
Right?
Except she lived in Pennsylvania and he lived in Washington State, so that'd be a little hard to sneak into the
drive
room
a little
and
bit.
take it.
Christmas.
So we're all there. Like actually literally the last time all of my siblings were together was during this incident. So 7-8 years back. And so he got the ring. My sister gave it to him, and he proposed. She said yes. They were engaged for a long time. They never ended up getting married. They're broken up now because, well, she got committed. So, that kind of puts a hinder on getting married.
How ironic. After she got divorced, she became committed.
But that's a story for another time. There's plenty of
I remind the court, you brought this to us.
I did. So what happened is, during this time where all of us are together, she refused to come and meet the family. She
But
completely,
the girlfriend.
yes, the fiance at this point. But yes,
okay.
So again, the last time that all the siblings were together, she refused to meet us, even though we were there for a week visiting, doing not a full-fledged family reunion, basically a family reunion, just hanging out, playing board games and having fun. Because that's what we tend to do when we're all together. And so my sister said, if she can't even be bothered to meet us, she doesn't get mom's ring. Give it back. Okay. And so this ended up splitting the family, because a lot of people are like, no, you gave the ring, she gets to keep it. Whereas I pretty much stayed out of it. And then, so my sisters, I've got 3 sisters. All the sisters were like, give the ring back. She doesn't deserve it. She's not even going to bother to meet us. She doesn't get mom's ring. It's not going to happen. And so my younger brother got ticked off. He was, him and his then fiance were living with my older brother. So he was just trying to keep the peace. And
wait. So she lived in a place where family was and still wouldn't.
She sequestered herself down in the basement in her room and just stayed there. She didn't leave. So yeah.
Is it because she was chained and y'all never checked on her?
Wait, no.
Maybe,
so that was,
if your sister's a little crazy, your brother could be a serial killer. I'm just saying.
I'm actually mixing up two instances. So I had gone to visit. Sorry, my bad. I had gone to visit a few months earlier, or almost a year earlier, and they were living in the basement. They had actually gotten their own place just before they got engaged. So they were technically at that point. But I often forget about that apartment because they were only in it for like 6 months before they moved back in with my brother. All
right, Calvin, you're starting to smell like purple. So we got grandma's ring hidden at a different apartment on a hand that won't show up. We got sisters who are the Southern Baptists getting involved. We got you, who's the new Christian church, splitting off because you're gonna do it differently. Where's the other brothers land?
Yeah, my older brother's just trying to keep the peace, and I'm just staying out of it. I told my sisters, I'm like, I fully understand why you want it back, but are you willing to, lose this relationship with our younger brother for it? Because that's what's going to happen. And that was basically as much input as I put into it. And what ended up happening is that younger brother, he didn't talk to my sisters for about 5.5 years.
What happened with the ring?
I don't know actually where the ring ended up at this point. My guess is that, because I don't think my younger sister got it back, so my guess is that she pawned it off at this point, to be honest.
So they've broken up and the ring's still missing.
Yeah, well, she went crazy.
So who are our candidates for butt faces? We've got the little brother.
Yep.
Well, we got the fiance, right? We've got sister, and we've got Joe.
Yep.
Those are the three candidates, right, for butt face. Audie, what are you thinking? Who's the butt face in this?
Do we know why fiance did not want to be around the family at all?
Have you met Joe?
She would throw all kinds of reasons at us. So there was at one point she was like, I don't want to be around you because I don't like eating in front of people. And then at one point it was just she has agoraphobia, or I don't know. She went on. She tried to make a career out of being a fat positive influencer. So a lot of that didn't make a whole lot of sense to me because she was putting it all on. And maybe it's the in-person thing. I don't know. To be honest, I don't know. I never understood why she didn't want to, because she would willingly babysit one of my sisters has 3 kids, and she would willingly babysit one of those kids at a time. She wouldn't take all 3 because she was practicing to be a future parent or whatever. Yeah.
So,
yeah.
I guess really it is the sister a butt face for asking for it back? At the end of the day, yes and no. Because you said yes to give the ring. I fully believe if you give something, whether you get pissed off about behavior or anything else later, when you give freely. And you said yes, you gave the ring. To ask for it back because the basement dweller won't come up is, I don't know.
To be honest, I don't.
I mean, it's a grandma's ring too, so it's a family kind of heirloom. I don't know.
I think she never should have offered the ring before meeting her. To be honest,
she offered it, or it was asked for.
Or however that ended up happening. Because you're right. I don't know who actually broached that subject.
You know what? Maybe should have happened was, hey, little brother, we know you're broke. Here's a little bit of money to go get a Walmart $100 ring, and then you can surprise her like the day of or the day before the wedding or something with grandma's ring.
Yeah.
Right. Well, family type of deal. I don't know.
And if you find the right person, the ring isn't as big of a deal as people make it, or at least it shouldn't be.
True.
Like my dad proposed to my mom with a Cracker Jacks box ring.
Because your dad was cool like that.
and so yeah, I don't know. I think people make a lot bigger deal over the ring than they really ought to.
So, Audie, I think it comes down to Joe is the butt face for not getting involved. He should have hinged in through the crawl space, come up behind her, put her in a sleeper hold. You wrestled in high school, put her in a full Nelson, and then taking the ring back. So that's my ruling. Joe's the butt face. Thank everybody for coming out. We'll be back next week with more shenanigans and awesome logos.
Follow these nerdy dads on social media. Charles at Rock God of Podcasting. Joe at Joseph_Ard. Check out the website, wiseandnerdy.com. And as always, they may not be your father, but they'll always be your daddy.
Shut up, Mike.
Fine audience. Those were the days. Now in better sound. Oh, I have faith that Joe could choke a